What's up guys, I'm Lee Morris, this is David Strauss, and what we have right here is the brand new 150 to 600 millimeter lens by Tamron, and today we're going to be doing an insane photo shoot with this lens. So Tamron sent this over as a review lens. They actually want to hear your thoughts on it. So before we get into everything about this photo shoot, what did you think of this lens?
So this lens, it's really good usually for wildlife and sports photography. So this shoot isn't actually a great example of a review for the lens.
They probably didn't design it with this shoot in mind.
Yeah, but using this lens, it's definitely very solid. It's very well built. It feels really sturdy. It starts at f5 at 150 millimeters and goes to f6.3 at 600 millimeters. Now, we actually use this with a Tamron 2X extender, and if you've ever used these kinds of extenders before, you'll know that when you add it to a lens, the aperture is actually doubled. So putting this on here changes this to an f10 to f13 lens.
So now that we know a little bit about the lens that you used for this insane photo shoot, tell me about what you actually did to get this shot.
A couple years ago, I saw the sun setting on the beach near us, and I realized I could set up a shot with a model, a bodybuilder specifically, holding the sun in an Atlas style pose.
Right, okay, so to do that, it seems relatively easy. We just need to back up a lot. I recently wrote an article on Fstoppers about lens compression. Check that out. And if you zoom in enough, you could make the bodybuilder and the sun approximately the same size. Why wasn't it that simple?
So a lot of problems come into play when you are that far away from the subject. First of all, perspective. There were trees in the distance that, with that lens compression, were enlarged in the frame and cut off the subject. I needed to get low to the ground, and so I had to actually dig a hole. But that didn't completely give my subject height above the tree line and have a clear horizon. I actually had to build up a dune as well to get them fully in frame with their full body and the sky behind them.
Right, and you were working on this for days. You were going out day after day after day and checking everything. The other thing that makes this a little bit more complicated is each day the sun would move just a little bit, right?
So I used a handy app called the Photographer's Ephemeris to give me a base idea of where the sun location would be. But yeah, the sun at that distance changes about a foot every day in movement from side to side, and as well as the angle that it comes down at it. So I ended up actually creating a complicated Photoshop document with light stands out there one day and measured out the specific distances that everything would have to be and the heights that the models would have to be at the certain time holding the sun. So that was another huge layer of complication.
Let me show everybody this monstrosity that you've built here. What the hell is this?
So using my Photoshop document, I actually constructed a cardboard cutout of how big the sun would actually be relative to the model in the frame at the focal length that I was shooting. So,
because otherwise the model wouldn't know how wide to put his hands.
This gives him a good idea of like his pose and how to shape his body and stuff.
Now, this may sound complicated, but David decided to make it even more complicated because instead of just shooting a natural light image, he decided he wanted to strobe this shot as well. Why did you want to do that?
So when I first planned this shot, my test image was actually taken on a day that was very hazy and cloudy, and because of that, I thought I could retain detail in the sky, have the sun at a decent exposure, and light the subject using D1s with the camera settings that I had shot on that day.
The problem that we ran into was the first day of real testing. We found that it was a much clearer day, and we couldn't get, even with 4 D1s at full power, powered with a generator, we couldn't get an exposure on the subject and in the sun itself. It was like one or the other type thing.
Another complication with the D1s was actually the Profoto triggering of the D1s that we ran into. So I actually did a video comparing the Venture TTL 600 to the B1 a little while ago, and we realized that the Profoto shoots about 300 yards at least. It consistently shoots at that range. But when I took out D1s and put it down in my hole that I had dug, it wouldn't fire. So I realized that I would have to raise up the Profoto triggering to a normal human height when taking your picture. Right. And to do that, I connected it with a little extension cable on a light stand.
For this test shot, We all went out to the beach. David had this all mapped out. He actually wanted to be the model for this test shot. So you set up the cameras. We had one of our D750s with this lens on it, and then we had like a Sony F7 video camera
FS7, yeah.
with another insane telephoto lens on it. And you just left us. You just went to go pose. You gave us a walkie-talkie and said, "Hey, just take a picture of me when the sun comes down." I wasn't prepared at all for this photo shoot, and I didn't really understand how we were going to do this or how I was going to tell you to move and pose and everything. And before I knew it, the sun is in the frame, and we just had to knock this thing out. We had like 30 seconds to do it. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
He's at 30. How far does this go? At 51?
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, cut shot. Dude, what is the chance of the boat? There's like a fleet of giant boats.
There's a chance the boats back there are going to completely ruin this entire thing.
I think that boats make the image actually look way more interesting. A little bit further.
I'm so nervous.
Crouch down a little bit, crouch down a little bit down, and move towards the land. Down a little lower, and pause right there. Boom, good shot. And that one looked pretty good. All right, down just a little bit more. 3, 2, 1.
I feel like we're guessing.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Oh man, this is so hard. Hey, that one's pretty good.
All right, David, I'm going to direct you for the video. I need your head up into the frame. Head up. Put your head up. Head up. Head up. Your head's going to be in the sun. There you go. Kind of like that. Hold that. C, hand up. C, hand up. I feel like a retard. Walk towards the land. Take a step to your left. No, the other way. No, to the land. Go to the land.
You're the worst directing ever.
I told him to go to his left, and he goes to my left.
Yeah, because he told us he wants to do camera. Is it over? Are we done?
Gosh, this is such a failure. We're not coming back here tomorrow.
No, we're not coming back here.
We're not coming back tomorrow.
Done. So basically, we were able to get a decent shot. We weren't able to get you exposed and the sun exposed. I kind of picked an exposure right in the middle where the sun's blown out and we have a little highlight on your body, but nothing too big. I think the idea was a fine idea. I just felt like after we did the test shoot that we couldn't really do that much better. I felt like we had kind of gotten the shot. I thought you were a great model. You're fit enough. You decided that you wanted to continue with this project afterwards. You still got the model out there and you went out the very next day. How did that go?
Yeah, the reason I thought I could make the image look a little bit better was I thought I could shoot vertically, get the strobes a little bit closer, shoot in DX mode, and the model would make it look a little bit better. But you guys had clearly given up on me by that point.
Yeah, we had.
So yeah, the final day we did the exact same setup. I did bring the lights in a little bit more. I had 3 on one side and 1 on the other, and lit the model fairly well, I say. The sun was still overexposed, but came up with a perfect pose and nailed the shot, and I'm happy I got it. So after all this effort we put into this shoot, we have a little bet going on. Lee, what do you actually think of the image?
I think this image turned out almost exactly as I expected it to. And I feel like it's an interesting image, but it was in no way worth the effort. And the reason that I say that is because I've certainly seen images that are done in camera and they're very impressive, but an image like this could be photoshopped in seconds. And not only could you Photoshop it in seconds, it would look infinitely better than the image that you came up with. So I feel like, although it's a really cool shot, I'm glad you did it, I just feel like there was a million ways to do it much, much more easily, especially not at a beach without digging holes and building mounds and stuff. If we had just gone to like a hill or a mountain or something and just shot up the mountain, that would have been so much easier to deal with. And therefore, I'm going to stand by my original statement when you were planning this entire thing and say, I think your time could have been spent better elsewhere. But what do you think?
I think you actually would lose a little authenticity if you tried to Photoshop it. There's so much Photoshop out there that looks so fake these days.
Sure.
And I really wanted to get this in camera. I wanted to make it work. I wanted to make it look authentic, and I think I did that.
You certainly did, but that still isn't proof that all of the time wasn't wasted. You can't justify that. And so that's what we need you guys for. We want to hear your thoughts of this finished image. Do you love the finished image, or do you think that it really wasn't worth all of the effort that David put into this shot? Leave your comments below, and you will help settle a bet that we have had for weeks now over this image. David, you shouldn't be wasting your time on this. And he's going, Lee, why aren't you supporting me? I'm so excited about this image. So we're excited to hear what you guys have to say.